Now this is how we fight, because this is what right looks like. What's up, YouTube? Drill Sergeant here, and today we have yet another win coming out of North Carolina, people. North Carolina's Attorney General Jeff Jackson just announced a huge win. A huge win in his lawsuit that he filed against FEMA for $200 million. Yeah. North Carolina Department of Justice, along with 21 other states, filed a lawsuit against FEMA back in July after they cut funding that Congress had already appropriated for 60 projects across that state, North Carolina. Now, if you remember, what happened in Texas when all the entire poor young women's camping place washed away along with homes everywhere, it's because they believed that cutting FEMA, cutting all things having to do with helping the states and helping people wasn't worth it. And in the nick of time, just in the nick of time to destroy the lives of an entire community. Well, right now, that lawsuit is to get that control back to FEMA, that money back, the appropriations back to help these places. For instance, one example of these projects was to move a sewage treatment facility in Salisbury to higher ground. This treatment facility was prone to flooding and flooded again earlier this year. Similar projects had been scheduled in other communities in the state: Hillsborough, Gastonia, Mount Pleasant, Leland, and Asheville, which was devastated by Hurricane Helene last year, and these are just to name a few. Some communities had already invested some of their own budgets into these projects, people, before FEMA illegally canceled the programs. This is where we are, or where we were. Now a federal judge, Judge Richard Stearns, I believe is how you say that name, appointed by Bill Clinton, has ruled FEMA acted illegally in canceling the Building Resilience Infrastructure and Communities Grants Program in order that they immediately release the funding for the congressionally appropriated projects. In summary ruling, meaning before it even went to trial, the judge ruled that FEMA's canceling of the program was an unlawful executive encroachment on the prerogative of Congress to appropriate funding, reiterating what I said at the beginning of this video. That which Congress had already appropriated to help the states, they got rid of to give to Elon Musk and Doge and Palantir. Hi, Palantir. How you doing? You're watching now, I know. In his ruling, Judge Stearns wrote, and quote, "The BRIC program is designated to protect against natural disasters and saves lives," unquote, and that the imminence of disasters is not deterred by bureaucratic obstructions. Exactly. And thank you, Judge Stearns, for articulating so accurately that what this administration does is just that. FEMA was obstructing necessary projects designed to mitigate storm damage and save lives. Just that. It was worded so perfectly. And this is what happens when you have competency on the bench. We need a lot more of it. We need a lot more bravery as well. But that's another story for another day. This win is one I wanted to bring to you before Christmas time. This is yet another example that the American people can readily see who it is that's fighting for us. Who's fighting for us? This horrible, evil, greedy, corrupt, incompetent, and feckless administration was blocking this funding for necessary life-saving projects in states all over. And it took North Carolina's Attorney General Jeff Jackson and 21 other Democrat AGs to make sure this funding was distributed according to the law set forth by Congress and a judge appointed by Clinton, may I add. Governor Josh said this: Josh Stein, said this, quote, "The people of North Carolina are all too familiar with the consequences of extreme weather, and as leaders, we must do everything in our power to protect them from future disasters. Building more resilient infrastructure helps to mitigate damage and save lives and money. I support Attorney General Jackson in taking this action and call on FEMA to reinstate the BRIC, that's the BRIC program, to keep North Carolina safe and strong." The NC Department of Public Health and Safety, Secretary Eddie M. Buffalo Jr. says this, quote unquote, "These federal dollars have played a critical role in helping our state build stronger, more resilient infrastructure in the face of increasingly severe weather events." The point is, people, they're not looking for handouts. They're looking for the government to act like a government, especially one that touts itself from being of, by, and for the people. This is what the government is for, to help raise up communities when they fall on hard times, natural disasters, and yes, even poverty. I know that this dream of bootstraps and bullshit, for some reason, Republicans love it. And one of the main reasons why, might I add, one of the main reasons why is because of this idea that, well, if you have money, it's because God blessed you. And if you don't, it's because he's cursed you. That's how they've been treating religion. And that's how they're able to turn their backs on the poor, while holding a Bible in one hand and an AR-15 in the other. That's another story coming up. Pam Bondi and the fools over there trying to get rid of the gun laws in Washington, D.C., just to see how much stuff they can start. Anyway, back to this. It's a win. I promised myself that I was going to report this like the win it is. We've got to take the wins when we have them, YouTube. These are people fighting for the average citizen. That's why it's important. In North Carolina, the AG there, the public safety secretary there, the Democrats of North Carolina, and the 21 other states across this country that joined in this lawsuit. That's them. The summary judgment before it went to trial, because FEMA under this horrible Trump administration so obviously and blatantly violated the law, is why this story is important. So this is a good win. It's a good win. We can feel good about this. Maybe even applaud and celebrate just a little bit. So I wanted to make sure I did that. And before we move on, to the next win, or until we end this nightmare, we've got to accept and celebrate the wins we get. And then tomorrow, we fight. Hey, yeah, you. Before you click away to watch someone unbox a tactical toothbrush, let's talk about something real. Political Drain isn't just another content mill. We're a digital front in a very real war. Not with bullets, but with ideas, with action, and with solidarity. We pair urgent news with critical education. And we build community around actual resistance, not the hashtag kind. The kind that moves. But here's the thing. None of this is free. It isn't. Behind every video is time, labor, research, and some weird guy asking if we're going to pay the hosting bill. And yeah, some of that money goes to things we can't necessarily say out loud. If you know, you know. Let's just say our special ops aren't Call of Duty LARPers. They're people making real moves to protect, uplift, and organize. You're not just funding a channel. You're funding a resistance network in a world where capital still calls the shots. Unfortunately, in a system built on artificial scarcity, even mutual aid has a price tag. And if we want to grow, if we want to win, we need your help. We need your help. So if you've got even a few bucks to spare, toss it our way. It's not for ads. It's not for merch drops, but for people making moves in the shadows so others can do it in the light. It's just us and you. So fund the mission, fund the fight, fund the future, because nobody's coming to save us. We save each other. That's how this works. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.